Guys. We have a problem. I spent the last 12 minutes playing soccer with my nephew. Not important. Anyway, some big dick Assassin's Creed Odyssey fan comes up to me and calls me a fake gamer. I need a game that'll not only prove that I play video games, but that I'm serious about this hobby. Oh, thank God.
Pop question. What is the greatest arcade game of all time?
Donkey Kong.
No.
Street Fighter?
No.
NinjaClowns?
Maybe. No, it's Pac-Man, of course. Collect all the dots as you traverse this maze and avoid the 4 ghosts as they hunt you down. Such a simple game to play and understand. Everyone loves Pac-Man, and if you don't, well, I have news for you.
You're not one of us.
With Pac-Man being as iconic and beloved as he is, it's hard to believe the series never continued after this. I mean, I'm really trying to believe.
Yeah, something many might not know about Pac-Man is that this is a whole-ass franchise. Namco has consistently been releasing titles on modern hardware for almost 45 years. I'm just not sure why nobody talks about these games. I'm not sure why.
The Pac-Man series is an interesting one to say the least. It started in the arcades much like Mario, Donkey Kong, and Street Fighter, but unlike those franchises, it never seemed like Pac-Man was able to grow out of the shadow of his original game. This is likely due to the titles Namco released after the original game. Pac-n-Pal, Pac-Mania, Pac-Attack, all different puzzle or maze games clearly inspired by the success of the first one. That's not to say there weren't any attempts at pushing the series forward. There was Pac-Land, a 2D platformer for arcades that was bad. It was bad. Clearly, something had to give. Pac-Man is Namco's biggest IP. They couldn't just let that go to waste. So in 1999, Namco did the unthinkable and released a good Pac-Man game for PS1.
While the Pac-Man series is mostly only remembered for the arcade title and maybe Miss Pac-Man by most of the world, people in gaming circles love to prop up the Pac-Man World series as the modern Pac-Man experiences.
When I was a kid, I had 2 Pac-Man games to call my own. Namco Mega Museum for Wii and Pac-Man Party 3D for, really, take a guess. I didn't care for either of these games. I mostly used Namco Mega Museum for a way to play classic Namco arcade titles, while I used Party 3D to appreciate nature.
Damn, there is still good in the world.
I'm not sure how, but as a kid I knew there were fun Pac-Man 3D platformers out there and I wanted to experience them so badly. But alas, I was too young to own a GameCube. Or realize the Wii had backwards compatibility. Beginning production as Pac-Man Ghost Zone, the game was first revealed in 1997. Holy shit, what am I looking at? This trailer is really f***ing horrifying, thanks for asking, and I'm not quite sure what's going on. I get that this is supposed to take place inside an arcade machine, and this evil guy seems to be real upset about it, but really, who saw this and said,
yes!
Clearly Namco was feeling the same way, as this doesn't resemble the final game at all. Bits and pieces made it in, like some of Pac-Man's abilities, but effectively, Pac-Man Ghost Zone was its own game. Whereas Ghost Zone was a product of something, Pac-Man World set out to take the flavor and feel of Pac-Man and turn it into a fun 3D platformer. Not really sure what the flavor and feel of this was, but it sure as wasn't Ghost Zone. The game's designer, Scott Rogers, insisted that the game be tailored for fans who've played Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, and nothing else, stating that most fans were only familiar with those 2 titles.
Keep it down, the Pac-Mania fans are gonna hear you.
This was definitely the right move, as when the game was officially re-unveiled at E3 1998, fans had much nicer things to say about it, with it apparently being a very popular title at the conference show floor. The title was called Pac-Man 3D at this time, with the final name being revealed at E3 1999. This title was, of course, Pac-Man World 20th Anniversary.
And to think people called New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe a bad name.
What the hell is this name? It sounds like it's Pac-Man World's 20th Anniversary, not the series as a whole. whatever. Pac-Man World was released for PS1 on October 15th, 1999. The game reviewed well with fans and critics alike and sold over 1.5 million copies worldwide.
Sorry, but I'm not gonna play the PS1 version. Those cutscenes look like games you'd buy at Goodwill.
Well, don't fret. On June 28th, 2022, Namco revealed Pac-Man World Re-Pac, a complete remake of the original PS1 title releasing for all consoles. So you'd think someone like me, who's been waiting to play a 3D Pac-Man game for years, would buy this game as soon as it launched. Oops, nope, I bought it 3 years later when it was on sale for $6 on the PlayStation Store. Pac-Man World Re-Pac released on August 26th, 2022. The game received a 71% on Metacritic, and its official sales records are not currently available. Oh, that's a good sign.
Not the most exciting note to start on, but I spent $6. No going back now. We're here today to determine two things. Does Pac-Man World maintain the flavor and feel of the original game? And does Pac-Man feel good?
Our story begins with the Pac family setting up a party for Pac-Man's birthday. This is the first time I've ever seen Pac-Man's family. They look strange. Suddenly, the ghosts appear. They kidnap Pac-Man's entire family for their leader, Talkman. Who is Talkman?
I don't know.
What's his motivation?
I don't know.
Why is he called Talkman?
It's Namcot spelled backwards, which was the original name of Namco's Japanese home console division.
This game's opening was copied beat for beat with the intro to Sonic Generations, but Namco got them back with Re-Pac as they stole Sonic Generations UI.
Donkey Kong loses his bananas. Mario loses his friend. Pac-Man loses his wife, son, daughter, and dog during a B&E. How is he holding up?
Meet punished Pac-Man. After losing everyone he's ever loved, Pac-Man's on a quest for revenge. He's not after pellets, he's after blood. From mazes to blazes, this is Pac-Man World of Punishment.
No, I'm kidding. He walks through the entire game with a smile.
This is a very clean looking game. While the original title looked like, the remake looks really good. Re-Pac has updated music and visuals, but this is pretty clearly the same game. There are some other changes though. Miss Pac-Man has been replaced with Pac-Mom. I don't like that, but ultimately this is the same experience. As for the gameplay, it's about as basic as 3D platformers get. Your objective? Get to the end of the level. It's like Crash Bandicoot if that game were easier and significantly less interesting. You spend most of this game just walking to the right. If you hadn't seen much of this game, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's just a 2D platformer like Kirby 64. Pac-Man has 5 core abilities that help him traverse this game's levels. There's his butt bounce, which lets him reach higher areas as well as break certain items. He has a super situational air stall that lets him flutter in the air temporarily, just like Yoshi. There's the Rev Roll ability that lets Pac-Man charge up before shooting off in a ball, just like Sonic. Through power-ups, Pac-Man can become metallic and sink to the bottom of watery areas, just like Mario. And lastly, he can throw collected Pac pellets at nearby enemies, just like... Actually, this one feels original. It also sucks.
So far, this game has taken major elements from several different franchises. What? Did they take something from Donkey Kong 2?
He collects different letters that spell out his name. God, Namco, you've been doing this longer than them. Why are you being like this? The other main collectibles are different kinds of fruit. This harkens back to the arcades as they were collectibles there too. There's also a Galaxian from Galaga hidden in every level, and finding one of them takes you to a maze level? Okay. That's really cool. Almost every level contains areas featuring ghosts. You can't hurt them unless you find a power pellet. This is a pretty obvious nod to the arcade game, and they're pretty mindless, but I really liked these. Once per world, you get the opportunity to save one of Pac-Man's family members by finding a hidden key in the level. Wait a minute, is that one of those things from Dig Dug? That's awesome. Apparently, the original plan was to have every character you save be a reference to arcade titles, and that would have been really cool. We wouldn't have to deal with ass Pac family, and the Namco games would have all seemed connected. Oh well, one of the levels is just a whole Galaga reference. I think I'm satisfied.
Some may call this substanceless fan service, and yeah, it kind of is, but stuff like this makes the game more fun and memorable, and honestly, it does kind of capture the flavor and feel of the original games. Now, does that make this game anything above average? Oh god, no.
The main problem I have with the levels in this game is how mindless they feel. Go right is mostly all you'll be doing, but the game sometimes hides progression behind these doors. So you'll have to collect the fruit that opens it and then walk all the way back to the door. This isn't ever hard, but god, it's repetitive. I'm not sure why they designed the entire game this way. These levels aren't poorly designed, and in practice, they can be fun to complete. I just think you're never gonna have more than an okay time going through most of them, and I never felt like I was experiencing anything I hadn't seen done better in another platformer. As the game progresses, the levels do improve as they become more and more challenging. I gotta say, I love the different world themes. There's pirate, ruins, space, circus, factory, ghost island, and that's it. Oh, that's it.
6 worlds may seem like a lot, but there's only 3 to 4 levels in each world. I beat this game in 6 hours, and I only started having fun 2 hours in.
Each world has its own unique boss fight. I enjoyed them all, but I found them pretty easy. That is, except for the Anubis boss fight. The PS1 version was harder. I don't care, man. Pac-Man World just asked me to switch to easy mode. That's embarrassing.
Alright, now that I've beaten all the bosses, I can finally make my way to the big bad himself.
We make our way to Talkman's lair, where he's pretending to be Pac-Man?
Man, nobody's gonna fall for that. You got the name wrong.
Our battle begins, and admittedly, this is a little challenging. It's not Dark Souls or anything, but it might take you a few tries to master avoiding some of his more annoying attacks. Don't worry if you're taking too much damage. When your health gets low, a different family member you saved will throw health points at you. This is great, I only saved 2 of them. I knew I'd pay for being selfish. After the first phase, he turns metal, so we gotta stay away from his attacks until we can find our own power-up. For the third phase, he grows really big and we gotta attack his legs to knock him down. After butt bouncing him a few more times, the battle is over. Out from the wreckage, Talkman is revealed to just be a random ghost. Pac-Man promptly replies by eating him. Holy shit, maybe he is punished Pac-Man.
Overall, Pac-Man World is your run-of-the-mill 3D platformer. I had my fun with it, but I honestly can't call this anything more than an okay game. That said, I wonder what the Pac-Mania fans will think of my review. They didn't like it.